Okay, here is a semi-raw review. It's not really a raw review, it's more of my feelings about the show. And as you see from the title, I'm not feeling it. Tell me if you're feeling it. I am not feeling it. I've been saying for a while, I don't like bringing my own life into my videos. I hate it. I despise it. The only time I ever bring it in is when I notice that things are not going well for certain people. Like if they leave comments and they seem to be really angry, I'll say something because that's just me. I care. But I won't lie. For a while, for the last few months, it has been difficult for me. I have been having problems, stress, which has knocked me off my normal work. And maybe that's the reason why I'm not feeling raw. That might be it. I don't know what it is. You guys tell me below. Do you notice what I'm noticing here? Everyone is saying that things have been great now that Raw has been taken over by Triple H. Now, I know Triple H, I think he's still on lockdown because of COVID-19, so he's not there. But even when he was there, the product just doesn't feel there. Now, of course, it's still only a few months as far as anyone's concerned. It's at least 4 or 5 months in. And I know. And I'm not saying that this is reverting back to the way it is. But I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not. Opening of the show. Let me give it to you like this. Let me ask you, does Judgment Day feel scripted? Tell me if they feel scripted. How many times have they come out talking the way they did? And they're trying to put over what they're doing, which has been alright, particularly Rhea Ripley, who has gotten better now that she's not like strapped, like being choked with a noose around her neck, trying to memorize everything she's got to say. She feels more natural. But at this point, where they're still trying to get Dominic over, no, you hear me botching my words with Dominic. Dom feels he should not be in his spot. I'm sorry. Anyone loves Dominic Mysterio, more power to you. I don't hate Dominic, but as I've said for years now, he should have never been brought to Raw. He should have been stuck on NXT. Yes, 2.0, I don't care. He should not been on the show. He should have been in NXT because he does not feel polished. He feels really awkward. He still feels awkward. He doesn't feel like he's really taken ownership of this character. Now, mind you, yes, it's still early for him. Yes, he's still green. But how many years he's going to be green? And this is going to be a question once this year passes. Because, guys, after a year, people are going to notice how this new direction is going to be. Now, mind you, the shareholders are happy because the new direction is giving a lot more money than even what Vince was doing. And I'm saying it myself. The product is better, like SmackDown is better. NXT really hasn't really changed much. Raw has been up and down. When you look at the ratings, Raw has moved at all. But when you look at SmackDown, the ratings are like this. They are going up. So you can admit that. But Raw cannot find it. And for me personally, even though it is different than what Vince would do it, this show I didn't feel it. Seeing that Carl Anderson had a match with what was the point of the match? I feel like there's something missing when you're seeing the OGs going up against Judgment Day. They need something. You know what it is? Stipulations. They need to do something to give this thing some spice. For me personally, there's something missing. In the end, seeing that again Judgment Day wins, but then really they don't. I don't know what it is. Maybe it is due to the fact that Triple H might not be there and he's still sick. And whoever is running the show is running it like they used to. Ergo, what I've been saying before, you do not know who is still there that will still go back to the old formula. Not saying it's 100% like that, but that's how it kind of feels. Now, when you see Omos, I don't care. When you see Braun Strowman, I don't care. But I will acknowledge he's still way over. I think he's a little bit more over than he was when he was away. So he still has that, like that newlywed kind of moment where that it's still new. So he's still really cared about. But I don't want to see Omos versus Braun Strowman. And then see, and this is something I got to say. You see Omos taking on 4 guys, MVP trying to hype him up. You guys tell me, who did you see amongst those people there? Unless I'm wrong, I could be easily wrong. Sal Rinauro, you know who that is? I haven't been talking about NWA in a while because I've had almost no time to see it or review it due to the fact there's been a lot of videos I had to put out, been doing my animation, and I just could not find the time to watch. But then one of the guys there, that motherfucker looked like Sal Rinauro. The Sinister Minister's boy. And I'm going like, the boy's on Raw if that's him. Great, but he gets annihilated by Omos, which is upsetting to me. But I'm sure Sal's going to be like, I'm finally on Raw. If he's never been on it, if that was him, I know he'd be tickled pink. Even if he was squashed, I'm sure he'd be happy. But that's just me, guys. Tell me below. That's if it's him. Let me give it to you like this. What did we actually get with The Miz, with Johnny Wrestling, and R-Truth? R-Truth, that's his home. That's his home turf. That's his home. And literally, he was happy. I'm sure. He didn't care to get squashed. He didn't care. He got on TV. We hadn't seen him in a while. He didn't care. The guy, he's a little bit younger than me. He is like 48 years old, maybe nearing 49. I think R-Truth is 47, nearing 48. I think he's 48 now. He's a little bit younger than me. And he still looks even younger. And I'm not saying I look old. I mean, for 51, I don't look bad. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty bald up here because of stress. But I don't look that bad. But tell me that R-Truth doesn't look freaking young. He does look like he is getting bald, though. He is. His hair looks like it's beginning to come out, too. But it's great to see him. But then this story, I don't get it. Now, mind you, it better have a good payoff. I'm going to say it right now. This story with Dexter Lumis better be a good payoff. There better be a good payoff. If Johnny Wrestling has been messing with The Miz, he messed with The Miz during the show. He messed with The Miz when he had his match. And he messed with The Miz after that, saying, if you don't tell people why Dexter wants you, and yes, he went to the ring blaming Ciampa. If this doesn't end with something special and pronounced, I am going to be pissed. Because they use a lot of TV time on this. With The Miz, who really is not feeling it. With Johnny Gargano, who a lot of people want to see doing something more, and should have been still working with Austin Fury, who did have a match dealing with Seth Rollins, and I'll get to that in a minute. But this better mean something, particularly you put Johnny Wrestling and Dexter Lumis, people that want to see something, in a feud that makes no sense. And let's move on to Seth Rollins. Let's move on to Mustafa Ali, which is pretty much Mustafa to me. I know it's the Lion King shit. I don't care. I like him as Mustafa. He feels like a Mustafa. Not a Mustafa. And I think, what was it? Corey Graves on a botched his name? Or was it the other guy? I can't remember his name. But pretty much, when you see the match between him and Austin Fury, I'm like, good. I'm glad they're doing something with Ali. I'm glad to see Seth Rollins is involved in it. I did like what happened last week, but here's the problem for me. After the match was over, and he helped Fury, and that was Seth. And then you see Mustafa get his ass handed to him. He shouldn't have been able to jump up so quickly and whoop ass after that. It should have been at least 10 minutes after that. He goes after Seth in the back. That would have looked better. Instead of him, I mean, yes, Mustafa Ali is a tough-ass bastard. But he got himself laid out. He was done. And he shouldn't have spent less than a minute or so, or a minute and a half, before he runs after Seth like nothing happened. What about selling? What about selling? Even Triple H, the God himself, will make sure they sell. This sucked. Now, JBL and Johnny Gargano. People love Johnny Wrestling. And right now, you got JBL. And I didn't do my review last week because I wasn't feeling the show. And I'm still not feeling, but I gotta say something. Am I glad to see Baron Corbin working with JBL? Yes. Do I want Baron Corbin to change his ring attire to fit being now a wrestling god? Yes, because he looks like old Corbin just wearing white. Dumb. He needs to change his gimmick again to fit the new narrative. He should be a mogul like a JBL, but he's not acting like it. He's acting like Happy Corbin. He should be dressed more like a JBL. He should be acting like a JBL. Take a bit from JBL. You can say a lot about Bradshaw, but when he changed himself to a guy that worked in Wall Street, which was legitimate, and then took that and made it something, and they're using Baron Corbin saying that he won money in the slots, that he became rich and famous. Why not invest? Why not act like a JBL and invest your money and then act like he is a corporate stooge again? But better. Not Constable Corbin, but Baron Corbin, the corporate man who's or a Wall Street guy, dressed in a suit, acting presentable, not acting like he's all happy and everything. No, he's not. And then we get this match, and JBL saves him, and then Johnny gets nailed. That means Corbin and Johnny are going to have a story. But does that mean it's going to be good for Corbin? No, because he hasn't changed his attire yet. Is it going to be good for Johnny Wrestling? I don't know. It depends on what's going on when it comes to him dealing with The Miz, because he just had his moment with The Miz. He's going to be saying something, but then he just had this match with Baron Corbin. That means, who is he going to have a feud with? Is it Corbin or is it Miz? I don't know. Final thing I'm going to talk about, if I'm forgetting anything, well, this is what you're getting. Bayley versus a Bianca Belair without the title involved. I didn't care. I didn't care. Because we've seen this for a while, and it needed something more. Now, do I hate Damage Control? No. I like Damage Control. Particularly, they just took out Candice LeRae. She's out for at least a little while. And then I don't hate Bianca, but then there's no Asuka. There is no Alexa Bliss. There is no, now, Candice LeRae, where they were going to do something. They got rid of it because they wanted to focus on Bianca, which is fine. But wouldn't it be good to see something? Now, counting if Asuka isn't hurt or not. I think she's hurt. I don't know. Only thing I know is they're not there. And I didn't care until the end of the show, until we saw Nikki Cross. Now, there's two problems with this. One, I'm happy, and I should not be happy about seeing Nikki Cross destroying the ref and Damage Control. I should be caring about Damage Control, not Nikki Cross. That is number one. I am happy to see her back as Nikki Cross, not Nikki, the almost superhero. Nikki Cross of sanity. Sorry for that if it was too loud. But if that's Nikki, I'm glad to see her. I care more about that than what just happened in this match. But then, what exactly are we getting with Bianca Belair dealing with Nikki Cross? You're actually going to have Nikki Cross, who we now see her back to Nikki Cross, going to help Bianca Belair? Really? Because Bianca is still going to be dealing with Damage Control, still going to be dealing with Bayley, and Bayley just got laid literally out by Nikki Cross. So what are we dealing with here? Are we dealing with Bianca having a new person there because all her friends are gone, now Nikki Cross is there? Or is it Nikki Cross going after Bayley directly, and Bianca is going to be an afterthought? Or going to be someone in the back who is the current champion of Raw? I don't get this. I'm not feeling it. Now, does this mean it's bad TV? I'm sure someone's going to enjoy it, yeah, but I'm not feeling it. And that's the major thing I've been having with Raw. I haven't been feeling it. Maybe it is due to the fact of my stress. Tell me below if I'm right. If I might be just still feeling my stress and it's throwing me off on being more objective. But if I'm well, if I'm not wrong, if I'm wrong, and I am seeing what I'm seeing, well, you see, I'm getting confused here because I am not feeling the show. I'm saying now, yes, that I'm off, but I'm not. I feel like I'm not off. I'm not feeling the show because the show sucks more than it should. And I'm wondering if it's due to stress. You see this is what you get. If this was a gump report, this is a freaking bit you would get. Peace.